This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. By the way, if you haven't seen my shoot interview with Shane Douglas from Tuesday, check it out. It was very interesting, and I think I'm going to have Shane as a regular guest on this channel because he has a lot of insight. Raw this week, as we see the horrible decision of making Big E champion is really showing. Raw only did a 0.42 rating, and it was the lowest attendance of any WWE taping since they went back to live crowds. There was only 3,995 tickets sold, and the arena can hold 19,500 for concerts and stuff. So it was not very well attended. And apparently, in general, AEW and WWE tickets haven't been selling that great. Apparently, there's only 1,700 tickets sold so far for Rampage this week. So everyone that said CM Punk was going to be the savior of pro wrestling, yes, people missed him. He hadn't wrestled for 7 years. They all tuned in for his first appearance. But that was about it. He's basically been basically nothing. He popped one good rating and drew one good crowd. So good for him. Glad he had that moment. I'm glad he's making $3 million or whatever a year. Good for him. Apparently, Tony Khan is saying that AEW is not interested in Bray Wyatt. There haven't been any talks to bring him in. Of course, WWE didn't want him anymore either. He was being overpaid, and he's one of the contracts that they let go earlier this year, along with Braun Strowman, who Braun was asking for 25 grand US for independent appearances. And I haven't heard of him doing a single independent appearance yet. Instead, he's doing the arm wrestling circuit and getting his ass kicked. So that's basically the news for today. Next Friday night is the big PCW Ultra event in Long Beach. I'm going to be airing this event on the Hannibal TV. It is almost sold out. And it is, I'll be honest, PCW Ultra is my favorite U.S. independent wrestling company. That's no secret. I do also support World Class Pro Wrestling and some other wrestling companies, but PCW Ultra, it reminds me of ECW a lot. But there is a big World Class Pro Wrestling event coming up December 11th at Southern Junction, and this is going to be the very first of the monthly events at Southern Junction. As you can see, Kevin Sullivan on the poster there with Eric Embry. They are the bookers. So that's one hell of a booking team. In my opinion, that's a hell of a lot better than WWE, who has Mick Foley's son as one of the bookers. Somebody says CM Punk was always so overrated. I agree. I fully agree. If anyone has ever seen the video, and you can look it up on this channel, of me getting kicked out of the WWE event back in 2012, when there was practically nobody at the event, CM Punk was the headliner that night. So he wasn't really a draw back then either. When is PCW? Next Friday. The Oz, Walter, no, it's World Class Pro Wrestling, not World Class Championship Wrestling, although the Von Erich brothers, Kevin's sons, are going to be involved in it, as well as we're going to see Carlito challenge the Blood Hunter. If the Blood Hunter is still the Texas Heavyweight Champion by then, because he does have a match coming up at PCW versus none other than Too Cold Scorpio. And it's been revealed that Jenny Santana is actually going to be in Scorpio's corner, and Kevin Sullivan is going to be in the Bloodhunters' corner. So that should be pretty interesting. Yes, that event will be on this channel eventually. It will probably be on this channel in November in full. Every match from this event, but there's nothing like going there live. Don't wait till the last minute. It is going to be sold out. Is it possible that wrestling has low ratings due to competing with other sports? If the product was entertaining, it wouldn't have low ratings. We saw that when CM Punk returned, people wanted to see that the first time. It pulled off one of AEW's best ratings. So if the entertainment is there, people are going to watch. Trevor said, thanks for the Shane Douglas Q&A. I'm not exaggerating. I cannot watch the highlights without skipping through the wrestling highlights. So I can only imagine people that try and sit through the whole show. And by the way, there is, I'll show this. Somebody sent this to me. I guess WWE is doing like some homosexual type angle now in NXT where this guy like rubs other men and like gets some power over them. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna go for that audience to help try and get ratings. Fly Guy, hope they bring back old school Raw. Well, whenever they bring back the old wrestlers, as much as people hate on Goldberg still pops a rating. Gordo, Scarface, it's not the product, but rather the good amateur wrestlers going to MMA. Wrestling actually still does way better ratings than MMA. And I actually don't think most amateur wrestlers make good professional wrestlers, to be perfectly honest with you. The best pro wrestlers are half crazy people, in my opinion, that are larger than life personalities in real life. Why so serious? It's having Punk return to fight Darby Allin, who no one knows was the most stupid thing AEW could have done. Well, I think Darby Allin's been his highest profile match, but I don't think there's been one match CM Punk has had so far where anyone would like not think CM Punk is going to win. It's been very predictable that he's going to win. And now I see Tony Khan has been plugging like this match coming up between Bobby Fish and Bryan Danielson, as if that's going to like take the mainstream audience by storm. Like I drove Bobby Fish to the airport once many years ago. He's a nice guy, but WWE didn't want him because he wasn't a needle mover. And like I don't know. I wish them luck though. I do wish them luck. The 90s guy says Raw sucked. Someone says, is that character a tribute to Pat Patterson? Who knows? Long story short, says there's a lot of indie wrestling promos on YouTube, but don't put the location and date. I don't know. On this channel, any indie wrestling promo that you're going to see is going to have the location and date. If not in the promo, I'll put up the poster at the end. AEW has a lot of household names, this guy says. Well, I wouldn't say that. Who do they have that's a household name? Not even WWE. WWE, the only household names that people outside of wrestling know are John Cena and Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. They have three. I guess people somewhat know CM Punk from AEW, but he's known as the guy that humiliated himself in MMA. He's not known as like, oh, I better watch this guy. Cody Rhodes, he's known amongst wrestling fans. But if I go out to the gym where I'm going to go at 5 a.m. today and ask everyone in the gym at 5 a.m., if they know who Cody Rhodes is. I'd be shocked if one person even knows who he is, because he's just not a household name other than with wrestling fans, in my opinion. CM Punk is a household name? I wouldn't say so. He's best known really for his losses in MMA to people outside of wrestling, and people that don't watch MMA don't know who the hell he is. That's just a fact. What else has he done? Independent movies, some MMA commentating. John Cena and Batista and Brock Lesnar, they're on a far different level than CM Punk. And the Oz Walter says that's true. And on that note, I cut up a massive roast yesterday, and I cut it into steaks. So I'm going to go out and barbecue one of those thick pieces of steaks and chomp that down, eat it very rare, so I can let the blood drip down my throat and really dine on that. So have a great night.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews